this whole year she's been like really blowing up,
right?
And she's gotten super famous very quickly, and so there's been like several incidents of her sort of basically like making statements that like rub some people the wrong way, I guess.
Right, because she was a prolific TikTok poster.
Yeah, you know, obviously when someone gets super famous, people just get weird.
Weird.
And so she had some experiences with like stalking and harassment.
But surely, like, you know, expressing that wouldn't engender someone to harass you more or be cruel to you online, because it is just a thing that happens, then you're allowed to talk about your life.
Yeah. She talked a little bit about it on this podcast.
I'm sure you go out
Yeah, they
follow me.
Yeah, they follow me.
And like follow like know where my parents live and like my sister, where's my sister works, like all this weird shit. And I'm just like, this is the time when I was like a few years ago that I said if stalker vibes, like family was in danger, is when I would quit. And like we're there.
Too. Same.
We're there.
Same.
And so I'm just kind of like in this battle of like, I've like pumped the brakes on,
if I ever got that famous, like people were trying to figure out where I live and where people I love live,
more known.
Yeah.
That's when I would also quit like that.
Forest fire right now, just like
I'd immediately stop. Like, oh,
incredibly reasonable.
Extremely
that's also
reasonable. And also like
also not fair because I don't have the money. I don't know if I would stop too, because it's like
what
it's
does
a lot
it
of money.
mean to be an artist? What is?
I think these would be individually
wrapped. What are like the valid paths of artistry? Because if someone, it's like this thing that happens.
There's no instructions on here. You think there would be, but.
Oh yeah, I'm working on a script. Then people are like, "All right, get in line."
Just
buddy.
$5.
But then that
Looks
script
like a lot
gets
though.
up and it becomes like a big movie.
I don't like I know how these work,
but
wow, it's
wow,
really
actually,
good.
you weren't wasting.
I've heard about
That
goose
was actually
paints.
the right thing to do, because, and also it's a meritocracy, and there was no luck or anything else involved.
Like people used to like look at me sideways when I mentioned like doing YouTube until I was successful at doing YouTube. Then people were like, "How did you do it?"
Oh, you went right.
And then no, truly, and that is a common thing I still get.
Cute color.
But the thing is,
Podcast like Joe Rogan. That's what you do, like Joe Rogan MMA stuff.
Exactly the same.
Yes.
Exactly the same. You are in control
these are
of how
water-based.
famous you get, and at a certain degree. I think people always are like, they were asking for it or whatever. But what she's saying here is that she's making decisions not to kind of not try to become any bigger.
Yeah.
Because she's already experiencing a lot of things that are threatening personal safety and the safety of her family.
I feel like this stuff, and I don't know specifically who's maybe like the main source of criticism, but I feel like the people that police this kind of statement and this kind of behavior are most often not, say, the people at stalker level, like the ones physically taking action. Instead, it's people that like their work.
Yeah.
And then they consider the artists they like.
How is this?
They're advocates, and as soon as you're letting me down, you're senator.
Right.
It's like telling someone, if I
It's
just
like you're my constituent.
Do I still have
if any opinion or thing you say that bothers me, not that's bad, but just, I don't know, makes me feel not great, because I'm a crazy person, then you have actually wronged me, but people have to
trying not to get
reconcile
this
that as some kind
everywhere.
of, like, moral statement. It can't just be that I don't like something, you've done something. Let's just, like, create a fictional universe where, Chappelle Rohan, there's like a new alternative universe where their goal exclusively, from the beginning, was maximum fame. Let's just pretend that's what's going on, right? That would not change anything about what they're now saying.
No.
If you, like, I don't know, if you were like, I really want to get into Hollywood, and then you find out it's, like, scummy, and there's a lot of people you don't like working with, and you hate being on set, it's not like, well, you asked for it. Like, because I didn't know, you didn't expect it to be this.
You don't know all of the... And also how it's going to affect you. Like, for example, I have a lot of very nice interactions with fans, but it's because I'm a much smaller, I'm exposed to a much smaller group, and that smaller group is more engaged, and they know in general how I feel about these interactions, and don't want to kind of give me a bad experience.
Usually I don't think are expecting, I think there's so much you can project onto music or a production where, like, there's the veil between the artist and the things that they're putting out, and you can say, actually, wow, that song was about me.
Well, it's like they're like, I love you, right? It's like this, screaming fans trying to like touch you thing, But
which is not, I should say, not a thing with wrestling. We're talking about more in the abstract of like
I'm just talking about like, well, so like, yeah, you're Justin Bieber's of the world. Like Justin Bieber went through so much bullshit, and then also, even with trying to remember if this was like a David Dobrik or a Jake Paul thing, but there were like kids going up to their houses, and their parents would like take them to their house. Yeah. And then they would feel like they were entitled to meet them and not feel what was wrong with that.
I very specifically saw it. It was like a Dobrik.
It was something like that.
How do you open these without making a mess? Even if I disagree
with like things that those people have done, it doesn't mean that they're not entitled to their
own Mr.
privacy.
Broski.
And if their mission was become as successful and famous as possible, you don't have... So what? So the stalkers are good? Is that your argument? That what it's... Okay, I guess I just like it then. Why am I not allowed to express something that bothers me? Because I wanted something else.
And these things can be traumatic. I know Miranda Cosgrove has had like a few interviews where she's talked about her experience with stalkers and really like insane fan interactions, and is like laughy about it, but like it's clearly like laughing in the face of how fucked up it is, you know?
And I'll admit, like, especially when I was younger and maybe not as media literate or trying to be more self-aware about it.
So how do you open these without making a mess? There's just no way to open it up. It's always gonna be a mess?
Yeah, well, Justin Bieber is for girls. I'm glad he's having a hard time. Or, like, he deserves to be, like, made fun of or whatever. And that just came purely from a place of, he does not represent me. Mm-hmm. It seems like everybody on either end of the spectrum of, they represent me, they are me, and if they fail, I hate them. Right. Just as I would hate myself if I failed, all the way through, well, they don't represent me. I'm glad that they're being harassed by the people that hate them.
Right.
Why?
Yeah, it's very, it's very strange. And I just want to acknowledge, like, the privileges...
Feels like a waste of paint.
...we have, because, like, we, you know... can live comfortable lives and also have people who know who we are in public.
No, I just have fucking 30 more.
Experience it to this degree, and if it
I'm
ever
closing
became,
this because if this dumps, I'll be pissed.
You know, to
I'm
a
not even a
crazier
painter.
degree,
I don't mind God this.
Maybe
I got it
be
because I
saying
wanted to
some
paint.
of the same things. You know, because like the thing is, the point is that she is not in control of other people, and to victim blame and treat her as if it's her responsibility. When you are suddenly reaching such a wide audience,
I want to mix the paints already.
This also happens to people who aren't even artists. You know, it's like when people like back in the early days of Twitter, when people would like take a photo on a plane and be like, "These people are flirting."
Yeah.
And then it would become like a viral like thread by the time that the plane landed, and now people are aware that people have been watching them and are engaged in their lives, and all they did was exist.
And they're tagging them. They have 16 followers. And like, why?
Right.
It's want to do that.
Like that type of stuff.
Same with well, actually, right now, I do feel like there's a get out of jail free card that a lot of people seem to hold on to, where, you know, like we say, when you can find even the flimsiest moral justification,
right,
it lets you be the worst kind of person online. Yeah. And I think a lot of the time right now, that is targeting people that have something to kind of broadly critique. Like, well, Jabal Rowan's rich, so actually eat the rich, and because of that, I can do... And it's like, these key words aren't good enough for this. That's not like the get out of jail free card. And neither is like, well, they actually tweeted the N-word in 2009. And I'm like, so I set their house on fire.
And this is... I definitely have like a different opinion when it comes to publicly elected officials, especially when it happens, when it comes to like when like very, very important issues of like for example, you're protesting a genocide,
and that is you protesting to someone that is literally your representative,
right? And those people have like additional security and resources to deal with these things, or like if you're bothering those people at you know, dinner or whatever, and you're talking to them about maybe their support for a genocide. This happens a lot in the U.S. government because of, you know, the U.S. government's support of Israel.
And in those situations, they did choose to be there.
That is the tax of that.
Because that is, you know, outsized power, and with great power comes responsibility. And obviously you should not harm those people,
sure,
you know, but it's like if you're telling Nancy Pelosi that you don't like her record on something while she's at dinner, I say whatever, you know what I mean? But it's like if you're just a person who makes music, you don't resign your humanhood in your personhood simply by being popular, because even if you put yourself out there for public consumption, you put your content out there for public consumption, it doesn't mean that you're sacrificing your personhood. And I think that a lot of people get hung up on that because they can't relate to someone who is in this position, which feels like they have everything. So it's like, what does it matter?
It is, it's pure projection. And it is, people don't like hearing this a lot, it is often jealousy, not just, or I guess more accurately, envy. Like, it's a more sinister kind of
all the girls
jealousy.
Like Justin Bieber, and I don't even care about the girls, actually.
He's just a bad guy.
He sucks, and they're stupid, actually, and I'm not jealous.
Turn that up, play that again.
Hold on.
Gonna catch you, actually.
Hold on. Is it too late now to say sorry?
Because of her rapid rise in fame and stuff, she's also been dealing with the usual just people approaching her on the street and asking for photos and yelling at her from across the street and just wanting her attention when she's in public places. And
I mean, even without saying exactly, we can probably, I think everyone would probably surmise that any kind of non-mask presenting amplifies all of this times 10.
Right. It's like, I'm not getting catcalled as a private citizen, but if you're a femme presenting person, that's just gonna happen because we ran the numbers, and unfortunately it happens all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. And being a public figure, especially as an artist or an actor or anything like that, is gonna really amplify all of those just kind of random people trying to interact with you. And she's been kind of standing up against that, being I don't really want to talk to you in public when I'm just trying to go about my day.
Yeah.
And so she made a video basically saying that I don't care that other people are fine with that. I don't care that it's normalized.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that people will always go oh, well, this celebrity likes it. But it's that doesn't matter. This celebrity is always so nice. It's look, Ronaldo got, or Messi got passed the jersey into his car at a stoplight, and he signed it and passed the jersey back. It's that's cool.
Neat.
But it doesn't mean that, and he's cool for that, and he's a real one for that. But it doesn't mean that you now demand the degree of interaction that you want from every celebrity you meet, because you wouldn't demand that from
there's
every
pain
person
on my
you meet.
phone.
While I probably will never experience the degree of what she's
Bye,
talking
Arlene.
about in this, or at least what I understand her to be talking about in this, when I go to something like VidCon, it is a concentration of people who know who I am. Or if I do a meet and greet, then it's a concentration of people who came there.
I think this is how they're all supposed to open. I don't know why the other ones didn't open like that. Maybe the adhesive was wrong.
100% overwhelming to just have all these people vying for your attention and want something from you. And these are, situations that I am prepared for, and then walking into.
We won't necessarily
on purpose
say their name, but we had a friend who, about a couple of VidCons ago, got gridlocked in a hotel lobby because of the love they were receiving. But I almost feel like it's an oversimplification, but if you're ever in the position where you're arguing that someone's consent isn't valid, probably you're wrong.
I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do.
I'm almost halfway there, guys. Oh shit.
Famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't give a fuck if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug. That's not normal. That's weird. It's weird how people think that you know a person just because you see them online or you listen to the art they make. That's fucking weird. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior.
Yeah.
Okay?
And that's the thing, is do the people that take issue with this kind of very obviously valid statement, is their argument that the behavior isn't creepy, or that creepy behavior is valid? Because both are crazy things to say. It obviously is creepy, and you would feel creeped out if someone.
From what I understand, the comments were a mix of both. They're oh, well, it's the price of fame, blah blah. You want to be famous, da da da. Well, you don't have it in you.
Saying that being creepy is fine. In which case, It's not creepy then? Well, isn't that something's creepy if you don't want on it? That's like the thing.
Have you ever told someone no for a photo?
Yes, at VidCon. Because it was an in-motion.
Yes.
It was going into the curtain.
Those are the times I've had to do it too, where I'm
because there's
like,
people moving,
like
and
doing stuff. Yeah, and you have to like get to where we're, or like a panel ends, like if I'm at VidCon and like finishing up a panel, and then everybody like comes up to the stage and like wants to like meet you or like take a picture, and you just cannot possibly give everyone what they want, and you're supposed to be leaving the room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like. And so it like
the live show was a little like the last live show where like I do want to go and chat with people.
I thought I had to mix this with water. I poured a glass of water for nothing.
All of our friends that we are going to dinner with are going to dinner.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make them wait purely because you know you go selfish or whatever you want. My priority is the people that I know, and that I don't want them to have a late dinner because I was doing something unrelated.
And it's also like it just depends on the day. Like I had a really bad when I was going to San Francisco for the wedding.
I will
missed
paint
my
something.
First flight.
I plan
I got
to.
A later flight, and so I was
I
having.
didn't think
a
it was on
morning,
open. It's been 16 minutes.
And I was really in a bad headspace about until I got my rental, and then I like drove to my friend's place, and right when I got like to Valencia Street in San Francisco, someone like came up to me and was like, "Hey, like, oh my God, blah blah blah, like, can we take a picture?" And I was like, "Sure." But I kept thinking about that because I was like, if they had found me 45 minutes ago, I would have been like, I can't.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I can't.
Not because of you.
It's not because of you. I'm doing so bad.
Unless you're a pilot.
Yeah. It felt like a near miss of giving somebody a horrible experience where it's like, this person actually sucks. I hate them. But it was fun.
But I mean, we can both say, I'd say very, very sincerely, always feel free to come up to, because it is really the best feeling in the world. Like it's very validating. When we say this, is because the vast majority of any kind of interaction we'd have with a consumer of our work is at worst a little awkward.
Yeah,
that's rarely.
Yeah, but I will say actually to give a little bit of more. Here's my chaperone esque take. I had somebody send me a DM. I was at a card shop, and I was playing in like a draft, like a Magic draft, and then I like kept seeing someone like glancing at me, and so I just like thought nothing of it. Then I later got a DM where they were like, "Hi, Mr. Johnson, sorry for staring, but I'm just a big fan. I hope you had a good time." And I'm like, okay, you're so close, just don't stare. I would prefer if you just came up to me and said, "Hey, big fan," and then move on about it, because it's a lot more violating to like feel like someone's staring at you for an extended period of time than to just have someone say, "Oh, hey, love your stuff. All right, bye."
It's almost like a thin line between like going up to someone and ask, not that there's any romantic context to that, just the thing that jumps to mind is like someone comes up to you and asks you out at a bar or a coffee place or something, and maybe you're not equipped for it, but there's at least like some pretense.
Yeah,
some
which
protocol.
is happening to me all the time, of course.
It's usually like freaking princess covered up or something. Like, and I'm busy. You love the podcast, I'm sure. Yeah. But like,
please, no fans.
If I'm going up and I'm asking somebody out at a bar, which I do at Katie's in Michigan or something, there is. Oh, she's sleepy. I'm sleepy. Good. I'm getting late. How about that? Oh, she's here. Listen. The red dot. But if that's something you're doing right, takes a lot of acceleration. It is a weird thing to get over. Some people are more comfortable with than others. Some people are really a little too comfortable doing it, but it takes a little momentum. And that setup is, as you come along, you're like, okay, I'm going to follow what I believe is the healthiest protocol, which I think in most cases is very sincerely like saying hi, and then when natural, kind of pretty quickly just kind of being like, by the way, I just thought, actually, me and my wife sitting across the bar.
Right.
And I've hired a woman.
I've been thinking of getting rid of her and swapping her out.
Yeah, my wife's just peering at me and I'm going like...
Yeah. I was thinking about maybe you could assume the role.
Yeah. Taking my ring off and going...
Yeah, hey, all you catch. It's like you're throwing a cheese ball in her mouth. Honestly... I feel weird using this word, but I do think it's kind of brave to set a boundary on like such a large stage, because it is so valid to set boundaries in your life, and And I just know that with such a large stage, there's going to be people twisting and turning your intent and turning it into something nefarious when all it is setting a boundary.
And then I think this is most recently, she decided to cancel a couple of her tour dates. Basically,
you can't. This is gonna ruin the tour.
And of course, people were totally normal about that. There's a little video basically describing the situation.
Chapel Roan canceled her 2 shows this weekend because she says things have gotten overwhelming. She was supposed to perform at the All Things Go Festival in New York and in Washington, D.C. today.
I do think there are a lot of people taking it out of control. They're like, hey, her saying, hey, please stop, like, yelling at me and trying to find where my family is and showing up their jobs. That's valid.
Like, no. And it's like, I totally,
and they have
like, there's nothing
people
wrong
who
with tweeting your disappointment, but it serves as a lightning rod. Especially Twitter has just gotten so bad. I know it's always been bad, but it's just become such a horrible, horrible place.
The okay to good has been culled completely. Now it is just
so it's just like literally all the replies were basically shades of, you know, she's bad, and then somebody was probably like, she's probably because she got the jab. You know,
must
like,
be it, yeah. It's all that 5G, I guess.
Yeah, it's the 5G waves or whatever. Anyway, sign up for my new coin.
She betrayed us. It's like, well, yeah, at the cost of probably, potentially millions of dollars, and the thing she loves usually to do at a huge stage, it's like, she screwed me over.
Personally, yeah.
I bought this ticket for more than 10, like it was like $20.
Yeah, well, these tickets for festivals are pretty expensive.
Don't go to festivals, crazy to me.
But
go home.
Her statement also says that she's going to prioritize her health and then wants to be present when she performs to give the best shows possible.
This is how I feel when I'm
trying so hard.
You know what I mean? It's like, but I don't have to broadcast that to the world.
I owe you better than... Actually, what, can I do a real sorry? I'm sorry for missing the meeting yesterday, guys.
Oh.
I didn't even process it, because, shout out to our friend DTUNE. I went on his live stream with our friend Keenan.
I'm trying to go slow and steady so I don't, like, pull it too hard and splattering everywhere.
He's lowercase, I'm uppercase.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Don't mind that. I'm Jordan Ultra Instinct.
Right.
He's kind of 10 times to 1.
Right. It's like in the Dragon Ball games where they're like, why do they have Teen Gohan and Child Gohan?
It's different.
And adult Gohan?
It's very different. Okay. You don't understand. This signature move. Come back. I did that. It went so late, and then the next day I couldn't sleep all night, and I just slept so long.
Here are a couple critiques of that decision of hers.
I literally love you, but girlfriend, that was not cool. And I know that you love being able to speak your mind, therefore I should be allowed to speak mine.
Pause.
Wasn't cool.
Okay. Does this person have a platform? before I go in on them. Not really. Okay. So what I'll say is...
Did you say that everything I say is a joke?
What the hell?
Serious.
So that's actually very funny. I'm psych unless not.
Like,
I just turned off.
Missing the point, right?
Damn.
Like, it's not that she loves to speak her mind. I mean, sure, maybe that's separate, but like, that's not, related to this issue.
My English, conditioning, and I don't think it's completely wrong. But when people ask me, like, what's the biggest culture shock or thing you struggle with American culture-wise, it is when people say, I should be allowed to speak my truth. I don't fucking care.
Oh, or
I don't care about your truth.
Someone says, I'm brutally honest, or I tell it like it is, and really it's just like...
I'm ordering it Uber.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
You can tell it like it is without being rude.
Right, I agree. Yeah, okay, well,
I still don't like you.
And also, I think this person already got pretty ratioed, so we can... no one, this is always the thing, but like no one go talk to this person.
Please don't go harass someone because of our critique of them being bad to someone.
Yeah.
Therefore, I should be allowed to speak mine. Wasn't cool. People spent real money on those tickets. They were expecting to see you. If I was in their shoes and I heard that you canceled simply because the pressure was too high, girl, you shouldn't be performing in those shows then. You're not ready, okay?
Lord.
But that's
Oh, Lord.
That's what Chapel Rowan says.
Yeah.
He says, I'm not ready to do this, actually.
Yeah, it's so passive aggressive. I think that much is clear.
Wait, she didn't even buy a ticket. Why is she mad?
Going to the show.
That's what's even crazier to me.
I know if I was crazy,
I get being disappointed and be mad because she like. First, it's a festival, so there's going to be a bunch of artists.
What upsets me.
Second of all, why are you even talking? You don't care. You didn't buy the money.
Mental health struggles different than like physical health struggles, and mental health. It's like for example, like Childish Gambino, had an injury and canceled his. I think he canceled his whole tour, and then he's like, or they're rescheduling a bunch of shows for like way out, and he's this happened to him twice. Like he broke his leg a while back, and then like had to schedule stuff. He broke his legs to me,
guys.
and it's like and it's like, well, you could imagine a world where it's like. Breaking your leg really before a performance, like maybe you're just not cut out for this.
Maybe don't leave the house before
like
you
if you look at the caption of that other TikTok that we just looked at, I don't know if it's still open. I respect mental health struggles, clearly not, and it's clear you need 6 months away from performing. Okay,
thanks, doc.
Yeah, thanks, doc. All right.
You got a prescription?
We love you and take care of yourself, but then the backhanded part comes and come back to the stage when you're ready to do the job.
Would that be
That's
good for
so
you?
backhanded.
And
it's like, oh, sorry, your bones don't work. Come back to work when you're ready to do the job, Mr. Gambino.
Maybe when the cast is off, you come do the show.
It's like you just wouldn't say that if it was a physical injury, and it's like, why are we saying that it's like less valid? When like someone,
I need to dry my hands off.
Someone's mental health struggle. They might be on the fucking edge,
dude. And she would be presenting exceptionally well, which is often how people that are struggling the most will present.
Like, not everything is pushed through it. Okay, I get that. You grow and you learn by challenging yourself and pushing against and doing things.
I'm really
that are
mad
difficult.
that light turned
But
off.
there has to be space for when too much is too much.
I guess
it's not always just.
I don't really care about this shirt anyway.
You know what I mean?
The difference between an opinion and a principle is action.
What should I draw?
It's very trendy to say you respect mental health.
Well, clearly not doing it.
Holding a principle means doing it.
Yeah,
it can't just be, oh yeah, actually, I'm not racist. But these niggas need to fucking get out of schools, okay? Maybe this feels a little bit like an age thing, or at least that I'd feel differently than I probably would have like 5 years ago. But I do feel different now about my wanting things and having to morally justify those. Mm-hmm. Like, I also respect and appreciate the context of people's mental health, but I can be annoyed. I won't say anything.
Yeah, you can be annoyed. You're allowed to be annoyed. Just don't act like you being annoyed is virtuous.
Your annoyance, like, supersedes anything.
Yeah.
They got diagnosed with, like, a terminal. Is that when it's allowed? Terminal is when it's allowed?
Me saying, I respect saving money. I really do while I'm buying more.
Before I did this, I was
But then also saying, criticizing
doing the base for. I'm trying to make more animatics. I'm trying to animate more.
Criticizing them for like, well, why don't you just work hard? What are you doing?
Now the thing is, people do spend real money. They spend money on flights. They spend money on hotels. They make trips to go to these shows. And artist canceling impacts those people.
It sucks.
It sucks.
Public creators in the YouTube sphere who have evaded criticism by literally just not saying anything in response. Being like, actually I didn't.
Well, I think...
Would a guy that did that not say anything?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I have a DJ set to go to, so...
Job.
It also feels like people that post about it feel like their TikTok is going to be the one that convinces them to come back. There was a TikTok of someone complaining that they just booked and were going next week to a vacation in North Carolina, and they can't get a hold of like any of the like the hotel, or their flights are canceled and they're not getting any of that money back, and no one's telling them what's going on, and they're like going off about it, and they're like, I'm losing money because blah blah blah, and we're like, people are dead from the hurricane. And it's like, your TikTok is not going to change what's going on over there.
A gigantic natural disaster. It's like, I respect hurricanes, I really do, but you should respond to my hotel inquiry.
To it.
People are dying. It's a huge, natural disaster.
Damn it, I just got paint on me.
Now I'm pissed. Now I'm annoyed.
Oh, I'm so sorry about your hotel. Like, it's like, yeah, because there's a priority list. and people's lives and well-being is at the top
Usually
above
right up there.
discretionary entertainment spending.
They were like, oh, we can't get a hold of anyone to find out what's up and running. We don't want to go because we don't know if anything's going to be open and running.
There's a hurricane. Don't go.
Yeah,
I know.
Don't go.
Yeah,
I know whether to go.
Oh, yeah, I have an idea. It's not. None of it's
Even
done.
for just your
That's
safety,
kind of the issue right now.
Same
you
with those
clearly
Hawaiian
don't care about.
vacations that
Don't
people are
go.
taking and being like, there's rock slides everywhere. This is so annoying.
Oh my god, the like
I wanna
the like our wedding vacation. Unfortunately things were closed.
Great.
Oh, I wonder why.
Great, I have to get married in America.
Yeah,
That's
boo.
fair.
The continental US blame.
Should I start with blue or orange first?
I just feel like
I think
if we can be connectors
I've never done these
to,
before.
like, at least somewhat, empathy to Chaperone's situation.
Do I add
by
water
virtue
to
of,
it?
Like having a small, tiny little modicum of like experience with people who don't know you, like asking things of you.
Sure.
Maybe we could like share that, like our take on that.
This is not,
also I'm saying that we can't relate to the full thing that they're doing, because also, I mean, we could become multi-millionaire recording artists for some reason, and we're
Promise?
Fine, hang on.
Yeah, wait, hold
Let me
on.
go get this.
I gotta
stuff.
schedule one. Let me call the DJ.
Timberlake, what's up? What do you mean?
The door? Wait, the world door? No, it's ruined.
My tickets! But there's like, no, we still mask, dude. Like, we're cis mask dudes.
Yeah.
It's always going to be easier.
Yeah, it is true.
And
in terms of like random strangers, like
just threat
accosting
level
you,
that
threat
is
level
expected. I don't know.
Threat level midnight. What's that from?
Oh.
Is that The Office?
Yes.
Is that Agent Michael Scarn?
Yes.
I think so. Wow. Millennial alert.
This guy's
I
old.
watched it when it was airing the first time. I'm not one of these Netflix kids.
I'm one of the friends of
I
mine.
remember when I watched The Office. It was Thursday nights on NBC.
Yeah, I actually watched it like way later, and I think I was playing 5
Well, you have
nights.
the British Office, which is actually based on the American counterpart.
You're kidding, really?
Yeah.
What the hell? Is that
And
why
then
Ricky
it
Gervais
was-
is so unfunny?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was that the American one was so good it killed the funny in Ricky
Broke
Gervais.
his brain.
It broke him, dude.
Speaking of people that like are too Twitter,
Oh my god, dude. Ricky Gervais, there's like a bunch of references whenever he's like at award shows, him being like, I made The Office, by the way.
did you know?
He's like, did you know? 'Cause
Where?
what you
That's
love,
green. I don't
did
need
that.
green.
No, not the one you watched.
No, not the one you watched.
Jordan likes it,
Our
but
real
like it
shows
less
that
now.
end.
Where the hell?
Oh my god, it's not real. What else do I got?
Can I get another season?
So light
He
green.
literally
Where's the
made a
gray?
movie, like maybe 4 years
Lavender.
ago, that was
No, I don't
David
need that.
Brent again.
Oh.
He brought it
I might
back,
actually
he
have to
was
use lavender
these
as a
episodes
gray.
end, and then they come back as a shitty movie. Who's the loser now?
6 seasons of the movie.
No, Ricky Gervais. I was a comedian.
No, community movie. Please let it
Oh,
happen.
that would be crazy.
It's supposed to.
Really? Still?
Yeah. And everyone's on, including Donald Glover.
Go ahead. Get it. Do it now.
You know what's funny? We'll be right back. And when we come back from this short break, we're going to have a special game created by the intern. Hey, it's us.
Hi.
And we just want to let you know that the merch at Savoys.llc or Savoys.store is going going away Sunday, October 20th will be the last day that our
Can't you see?
Don Bacon's pushing to let insurance companies deny coverage
I
for
don't
pre-existing
care. I got pain in my
conditions.
face.
He voted
Damn,
for
I already
bill
took a
that
shower.
allows insurance companies to charge older folks 5 times more than younger people. We can't afford Don Bacon.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, you might be noticing that something has changed. We tried Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month.
When you're not next
It's
to
the
me.
camera we're shooting with. I got this one at a county swap meet for a couple of bucks, which is a lot cheaper than renting a fancy commercial camera. There was even a tape already in it.
I know this isn't the
When
late video,
you're
but
not
as someone who
next
regularly
to
gets
me.
accused of like nuking companies, I feel like I can make this video whenever I feel like it.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hi, I'm Amanda. You're watching Small Entertainment. Today we are talking about, do reviewers kill companies? Or, you know, no, that's basically it. That's really it. Do we do that? Also, if you can't tell, I'm still sick. It got worse.
Should
I will sound like this the entire time. But yes, today we were talking about the whole things. And I talked about this very briefly on Twitch when Marquez originally put out his response video. Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, for those of you who don't know, is a tech review channel specifically, but he does also car reviews and a bunch of other review products and things like that. And I would say he is probably the largest, most successful, specific to tech review channel that there is. I like his reviews a lot. If I'm thinking about buying a piece of tech, I'd probably go check out a Marquez video, frankly. But lately, he has done quite a few videos on various products and cars that are fairly popular in the tech bro sector, and they are not happy with him. I've just seen some truly horrific takes, okay, in relation to Marquez, and I wanted to talk about it because as someone who is also, we can actually physically track when I made a video to how long it took a company to go under, okay? We can do that, okay, with my channel, which is very funny. Now, do I think that I am, you know, death destroyer of companies? No. Yes. It'd be really fun if I was, but I'm not. I have been accused of being a professional consumer, which I do think is fairly funny. But I mean, in that regards, I would rather me be a professional consumer and help make, you know, the general public, you guys, my viewers, make better consumer decisions when we are dealing with, you know, things like financial crises and things like that, than just like you get swayed up by like sexy marketing, you know, or an influencer talking about a product that, you know, you like the influencer, so you equate you liking them with you liking that product because, oh my god, I must trust that because I trust them, you know. I would rather me get called a professional consumer and just like spend my money, lose money, get scammed out of money for a product or something like that for a video, than have the vast majority of people, you know, keep buying something that I think is a bad product. And so I'm fine with that claim being attached to me. But there's been quite a few things that I get called out for, or like, it's almost like, I shouldn't say called out. Called out makes it sound like it's a bad thing, like it's said in like a bad frame. People call it out to me because they're like, oh my god, look, she did it again. Like, it's almost like it's funny when I call out bad products and things like that, or even products that I like or talk about things like that. And there have been instances where I've talked about a company and they've responded to me, or they've blocked me, or in some instances, like the founder messages me through someone and they're like, oh my god, I really like this video. Like, I get things like that too. Let's go through the lore of small entertainment just a little touch. For those of you that are fairly new, that may not know, because you mainly know me as like an event review YouTuber or a commentary person. I don't do product reviews all that much anymore. I still am very passionate about product reviews. There's just nothing that really gets me fired up quite lately. There's still things that I have on the docket that I want to cover and things like that, but nothing too crazy. Or there's things that I do that are like shorts or TikToks because I just don't think it's worth like a full video for whatever reason. Whether it'll be a very short video or it's just okay, it just exists. It's not good or bad. It's just meh. One of my very first big videos, for those who don't know, in 2020, I celebrating 10 years on YouTube this year, but in 2020, I had a couple of very big videos that launched my channel. And one of them being a video on Quibi. For those who don't know, I was the first YouTuber to make a video on Quibi. I do not have the biggest video, and I am not the only YouTuber to make a video on Quibi, but I was the first. How was I the first? I am never offline, okay? And during lockdown, all this stuff while I was working, I'd been seeing all these ads for Quibi, and I was like, what is Quibi? And I found out they were doing an early access thing where you could get like 7 days early access to the site with like a limited number of their shows. And so I did that. And so when I think the day before, the day it went live for the general population of the country, my video was already out. Now, because of that, because I've then made several other videos on Quibi, when Quibi shut down, I had a couple of people that were like, oh my god, small entertainment killed Quibi. Logically, no.
I don't know how I feel
Quibi
about
was
this.
a nightmare. Quibi was never going to do well. Even without a lockdown and a pandemic, there was no feasible chance in hell that a residual avoidant business model was ever going to work. We see it with every other streamer, so it's like, oh, maybe it could have worked. But no, okay, like there was a lot of things there that was just never going to work. Quick Bites, make a YouTube channel, okay? The whole thing was never going to work.
No.
Quibi shut down. I don't remember exactly if I said I'd give it a year or not. I said I don't think this is going to work, I think. But that was like the start of it, okay, which is a very big example of like me predicting something like that, because I don't think I actively cause anything. I think I make my own critical analysis, looking at a company, looking at a product, and being like, hey, this seems like X, Y, and Z are weird. And then I put that in a video, and I put the video out, and then the dominoes fall as they may. I don't think I actively cause anything. I may actively cause you, one person watching this, as an individual, to make a choice to buy something or not to buy something. But that is also my right as someone who is paying for a thing, and also your right as someone who is watching me who is thinking about paying for a thing. You can make the decision not to buy something. Anyways, let's go through my product review playlist and see what companies are still functioning. Sugar Bear Hair, I'm assuming is still a thing. Flat Tummy Tea, unfortunately, I think is still a thing. The Always Pod, I think, is something that I point to a lot when people get mad at me for like a negative review. Like, you never talk about things